Fresh out of prison, she tries to start a new life as a nanny and falls in love with the homeowner, unaware that the seemingly perfect family is hiding something terrifying. The film opens by introducing a woman named Millie, who arrives at a grand residence owned by the Winchester family. When she gets there, she is warmly welcomed by the homeowner, Nina. In that house, Nina lives with her husband, Andrew, and their daughter, Cece. Millie has come to Nina's house to apply for a job as a housemaid. With a friendly attitude, Nina gives Millie a tour of the house while explaining the details of the job and informing her that if she is accepted, she will be required to live there.
Hey, would you like a grand tour? This is Cece's room. This is the upper living room. Barry Lyndon is a misunderstood master. I know. Andrew says I'm totally gonna kill myself one day, but he pays incredible attention to every detail.
Nina then shows Millie the room she would stay in, located on the top floor. After the brief tour, Nina says she will contact her again regarding the hiring decision, so it is not yet certain that Millie will get the job. At this moment, Millie desperately needs the position. However, she doubts she will be accepted because some of the information listed on her job application is a lie. It is then revealed that Millie has just been released from prison after serving 10 years. After such a long time, she is finally able to breathe free air again, but she is still on parole, meaning she must regularly report to social services. Since her release, Millie has been living in hardship. Every night she sleeps in her car because she has no home. She feels deeply grateful because before she left Nina's house earlier, Nina gave her a little money so she could buy food.
That everything on that resume is a total lie. That's the last time I'll ever step foot in that house. Why'd I even think I had a shot at that job?
One morning, several police officers approach her and tell Millie not to park and sleep in that location anymore. Not long after that incident, Millie receives a phone call from Nina, informing her that she has been accepted as a housemaid for the Winchester family. Upon hearing the news, Millie is overjoyed. This means she can finally begin a new life. Without wasting any time, she drives back to the Winchester house.
I'm calling to offer you the job.
Yes, I would love to. Well, what about this afternoon?
That would be great.
When she arrives, she meets Enzo, a mysterious and reserved man who works as the gardener. As she steps inside, Millie is surprised to see the house in complete disarray. Shortly afterward, Nina comes to greet her cheerfully and asks Millie to start cleaning the house while she takes Millie's belongings up to her room. Nina explains that she has not had time to tidy everything because she has been busy writing a speech.
This is gonna be fun, Millie!
That evening, Nina introduces Millie to Andrew and Cece. Andrew seems less than enthusiastic about Millie's presence, but he remains polite and offers her food in case she feels hungry. After the introduction, Millie returns to her room to check the condition of her new living space. Not long after, Nina follows her upstairs to offer dinner and reassure her not to take Andrew's attitude personally. During their conversation, Millie asks whether the window in her room can be opened since it appears to be stuck. Nina offers to fix it and also gives Millie a cell phone, something Millie truly appreciates. The next morning, Millie wakes up to the sound of loud screaming coming from the kitchen. She tries to leave her room, but the door feels jammed. After managing to force it open, she quickly goes downstairs and finds Nina in a furious rage. Nina accuses Millie of throwing away a sheet of paper containing a speech she plans to deliver at a meeting with teachers and parents later that evening. Millie denies the accusation, explaining that when she cleaned the kitchen, she never saw the paper Nina is referring to.
Nina!
They were right here on the counter, and now they're not here. My PTA notes for the meeting tonight, where are they?
Where what?
Where are they?
I didn't see any notes.
Bullshit!
The situation eventually calms down after Andrew intervenes and soothes his wife. He says he will take Cece to school so Nina can have time to rewrite her speech and prepare for the meeting. Millie apologizes, feeling that she has made Nina's morning worse. Andrew also apologizes to Millie for his wife's emotional outburst, explaining that Nina's emotional state has been unstable lately. Later, while Millie is taking out the trash, Enzo approaches her and asks what she is doing there. As Enzo can clearly see, Millie is working at the house. When Millie asks him the same question in return, Enzo simply falls silent, glancing toward Nina, who is watching them from the window.
I work here.
You...
That night, Millie prepares dinner for the Winchester family and serves it at the dining table. Andrew then asks her to sit down and eat with them. However, as usual, Millie politely declines and chooses to return to her room. Once there, she opens her phone and scrolls through Instagram. Without realizing it, she finds herself looking at Andrew's photos. Although Andrew was initially distant toward her, over time his attitude has slowly grown warmer, and that subtle change begins to linger in Millie's thoughts. Suddenly, Andrew appears at her door holding a cupcake. He says that Cece wants Millie to have it. They lock eyes for a long moment, and the atmosphere between them shifts, turning into something more intimate. But the moment shatters instantly when Millie wakes up and realizes it was only a dream. After finishing breakfast service the next morning, Nina approaches Millie and begins talking about Andrew, describing him as the ideal husband. Whatever Nina's true intention may be, Millie simply listens without giving much reaction. Later, Millie plans to leave the house to report to social services as required by her parole. However, Nina asks her not to go that day because she wants to visit the salon. Millie cannot fully explain her obligation as she is still hiding her past as a former inmate. A small argument follows between them until Andrew intervenes. He gives Millie permission to leave, which clearly irritates Nina, though she says nothing further.
Where are you going?
I have a meeting that I can't miss.
Absolutely not. I missed my hair salon appointment. I can't spare you today.
It's okay, she can go.
Have fun.
After finishing her meeting, Nina suddenly calls Millie and asks her to pick up Cece from ballet class.
I
need you to pick up Cece from ballet class, 1:45.
Fuck.
However, when Millie arrives, Cece tells her that she already has plans to stay overnight at a friend's house. The friend's mother had even called Nina earlier to confirm the arrangement. Nina then explains that Cece is indeed spending the night at her friend's house.
Who are you looking for?
Cece, I'm here to pick you up.
I'm spending the night at Emma's.
Okay, let me check.
It's impossible to find reliable help.
Would you like to confirm?
Take care. Bye.
The incident leaves Millie feeling embarrassed and confused, wondering why Nina asked her to pick Cece up when she had already given permission for the sleepover. When Millie returns home, she meets Evelyn, Andrew's mother. Evelyn has brought valuable porcelain tableware from China and instructs Millie to store them carefully.
This is Andrew's mother, Mrs. Winchester. I told you Cece was having a sleepover tonight.
Yes.
Is it lovely?
I want you to put them somewhere safe.
That night, Millie cannot fall asleep. Restless and uneasy, she decides to go to Andrew's private study to calm herself. Not long after, Andrew joins her, and what begins as light conversation gradually turns into a deeper discussion about personal matters. During their talk, Andrew reveals how fragile Nina's emotional state truly is. He explains that Nina lost both of her parents in a house fire when she was a child. The incident was considered suspicious. The police even suspected that Nina might have caused the fire, an accusation that left a deep psychological scar that lingers to this day. Their conversation is abruptly interrupted when Nina suddenly appears. Seeing Millie alone with her husband in his private space, Nina immediately erupts in anger. Her fury explodes and she declares that she intends to fire Millie on the spot. Cornered and terrified, Millie begs for a second chance. After a tense and painful confrontation, Nina finally relents and decides not to dismiss her. However, she warns Millie that if she wishes to continue working in the house, she must keep her distance from Andrew and dress more modestly.
And leave first thing in the morning before Cece wakes up.
Please, Nina, one more chance.
Fine, 1 week. Stay the fuck away from my husband. Oh, Millie, I have to dress appropriately around the house from now on.
The next day, Nina's friends come over to the house to chat and have tea together. In the middle of their conversation, Nina receives an important phone call and has to step away for a while. As soon as she leaves, her friends begin talking about Nina's seemingly perfect life with a husband who is both handsome and incredibly wealthy. However, beneath that perfect image lies a darker truth. They reveal that Nina was once admitted to a psychiatric hospital after attempting to drown Cece when she was still a baby. Nina's friends wonder why Andrew would still choose to remain her husband after what she had done. They admire Andrew, describing him as not only attractive, but also extraordinarily patient.
Do you think she would take better care of herself for Andrew? And how about those roots? My God. Have you seen her skin? How many months she spent in that awful psych ward? I do not know how he puts up with her.
He's so fucking hot.
Because he is a saint.
He's a hot saint.
From that conversation, Millie speculates that Nina's unstable emotions are because she is mentally unstable. A short while later, Nina returns and coldly tells Millie to stop eavesdropping on their conversation. After Nina's friends leave, Nina goes to Millie's room and asks her to look after Cece the following Saturday because she and Andrew will be going out of town.
Poor Andrew. Andrew is definitely a saint for standing by Nina. As soon as I save up enough money, I am out of here.
Andrew and I have an appointment in the city. I'm gonna need you to watch Cece next Saturday.
We'll have fun.
After Nina and Andrew leave the house, Millie quickly slips into Nina's bathroom and discovers several psychiatric medications that belong to her. This discovery convinces Millie even more that Nina is deeply unstable, making her question whether she should continue working there any longer. Later, Millie spends time playing with Cece. While they are happily playing with dolls, Nina and Andrew suddenly return home. It is unclear what happened, but Nina storms in crying and shouting, while Andrew tries to ease the tension. He then asks Cece to go to her room because he wants to speak privately with Millie. Andrew explains that they had gone to see a gynecologist, and after the examination, Nina was told that she is unable to have children. That news is what caused Nina to break down emotionally. Andrew admits that he is also saddened by the situation as he truly wishes to have a child with Nina. It is then revealed that Cece is not Andrew's biological daughter. Even so, Andrew insists that he will remain by Nina's side.
Premature ovarian insufficiency. I really don't think that she can handle the disappointment. She's been so fragile lately. Fuck, I just really don't know how she's gonna take this. I just always wanted a child of my own with Nina. I've just always wanted a lot of kids.
At least you have Cece.
She's just not my biological daughter.
The next day, Nina asks Millie to purchase tickets for a musical she wants to attend with Andrew over the weekend. She also instructs Millie to book a hotel as she plans to spend quality time alone with her husband. Millie follows her instructions and promptly buys the tickets.
But I do need a favor. An overnight at a high-end hotel. And I need you to look into tickets for a musical called Showdown.
Sure.
Afterward, she waits for Cece, who is attending her ballet class. However, once they return home, the atmosphere changes drastically. Nina suddenly claims that the show's schedule conflicts with Cece's camping trip. Her anger erupts when she realizes the tickets cannot be refunded. Nina blames Millie and demands that she repay the cost of the tickets, something clearly beyond Millie's means. The tension escalates until Andrew finally returns home. Seeing the heated situation, he attempts to calm Nina and suggests contacting the credit card company to cancel the transaction.
What is this?
Nina, I did what you asked me to do.
Fine. And I assume that these are non-refundable now? It was your mistake. You're gonna cover it.
Nina, I can't afford that.
You don't have to pay for anything.
The next day, Nina takes Cece to camp, leaving Andrew and Millie alone together in the house. Andrew explains to Millie that the tickets truly cannot be refunded. Because of that, he invites Millie to attend the show with him instead. At first, Millie hesitates to accept the invitation, but eventually she agrees. They go out together like a couple, watching the musical, enjoying a romantic dinner and dancing.
Great dress.
This place is really fancy.
It's a new adventures.
Cheers. You want to go dancing?
Should we hit it? I think we got a problem.
The evening does not end there. They decide to stay overnight at a hotel, though in separate rooms. Once inside her room, Millie immediately charges her phone and discovers dozens of angry messages from Nina. Shocked, she shows them all to Andrew. Millie feels that Nina constantly blames her for everything and begins to suspect that Nina might be trying to ruin her life. Overwhelmed with mixed emotions, Andrew comforts her, and eventually their relationship crosses a line. That night turns into something far more intimate. The next morning, Andrew firmly states that whatever happened the night before must remain completely secret from Nina. After that, they quickly return home. Upon arriving, Nina's attitude changes drastically. In a gentle tone, she apologizes for the harsh messages she had sent earlier. However, the calm does not last long, as Nina deliberately brings up Millie's past time in prison. Millie instantly feels ashamed, unable to defend herself or explain anything.
Hey, Millie, did you learn how to cook while you were in prison? Right? You know, she was in prison for 10 years. I'm glad that we could be a part of your journey.
Shortly afterward, Nina asks Millie to go shopping for Cece's necessities and instructs her to use her car. Millie obeys and leaves immediately. While paying for the groceries, she runs into one of Nina's friends. During their brief conversation, the woman casually mentions that phones given by employers to their maids are often equipped with GPS, allowing the employer to track their location at any time.
Is that the newest phone? Most of the nannies won't take the phone.
What do you mean?
Well, because they don't want every place you go tracked, but...
The remark startles Millie. It likely means Nina already knows that Millie and Andrew spent the weekend together. Not long after, the police suddenly arrive because the car Millie is driving has been reported as stolen. The tension escalates until Andrew shows up and attempts to explain the situation. Thanks to him, Millie is eventually allowed to leave. On the way home, Millie apologizes for not being honest about her past. Andrew, however, does not seem to mind, choosing to brush it aside. Once they return to the house, Nina finally confronts them both. She has discovered a voice recording that clearly proves Millie and Andrew attended the show together and that their relationship has crossed a line it never should have. Nina's anger explodes toward Andrew, but instead of apologizing, Andrew turns the blame back on her. He tells Nina to leave the house, claiming he can no longer handle her instability and emotional outbursts, which have made his life feel like a burden.
What the hell kind of stunt was that?
I know that you fucked her. I know you took her to the city.
Oh. And after prison, you'll go.
Enough! Please leave my house. Nina, your cruelty, it makes me sick.
Our house.
No!
Fuck you.
Heartbroken and overwhelmed with emotion, Nina packs her belongings and leaves the house. After Nina's departure, Millie and Andrew begin carrying on a secret relationship, living as if they were husband and wife.
I need you to know that it's not your fault. I want you to stay here with me.
I want that too.
Beauty is power.
One day, while Millie is preparing food in the kitchen, Enzo suddenly appears in front of her. His unexpected presence startles her, causing her to drop one of Andrew's expensive porcelain plates onto the floor, where it shatters into pieces. Not long after, Andrew arrives. Without saying much, he immediately fires Enzo, claiming he has disturbed Millie's comfort. Afterward, Andrew comforts Millie and tells her not to throw away the broken shards of the plate. He says he will fix it himself.
I'm sorry, it's your mom's good china.
It's okay. I got a plate guy. He's real good at putting them back together. Don't throw any of these out.
That evening, they drink together in Millie's room. The atmosphere feels warm, and the closeness between them grows more intense. However, when Millie wakes up, everything feels wrong. It does not take long for her to realize that she has been drugged. Her personal belongings are gone, and when she tries to leave, she discovers that her bedroom door is locked from the outside. Panic sets in as she pounds on the door repeatedly, screaming at the top of her lungs for help. In the midst of her terror, Andrew's voice is heard from the other side of the door. In a cold tone, he says that the door will be opened, but not now. Millie's panic quickly turns into pure fear. She keeps screaming, begging Andrew to unlock the door, but her only answer is suffocating silence.
Open the door, Andrew!
I will. Just not yet.
Andrew, can you hear me? Can you let me out? Let me out!
The story then shifts to Nina. At first, she is seen screaming and crying, but suddenly she bursts into laughter, suggesting that she actually feels relieved after being thrown out by Andrew. After that, Nina writes a letter to Cece, telling the story of her life. When Nina was 8 years old, her parents died in a house fire. She loved them deeply and even wished she had died alongside them. The cause of the fire was never proven, but Andrew later twisted the story, making it seem as though Nina had been responsible for it. Nina spent her dark childhood moving from one orphanage to another. As an adult, she earned a full scholarship and eventually became involved in a relationship with her own professor. That secret affair resulted in her pregnancy, and the child was Cece. The professor refused to take responsibility, forcing Nina to raise Cece as a single mother. Being a single mother was far from easy, especially balancing work and caring for a child. At the lowest and most fragile point of her life, Nina met Andrew. He appeared to be the answer to all her struggles. He was financially stable, handsome, and capable of providing a home for her and Cece.
He came into my life.
And I'd love to take you to lunch. Hey, I was thinking maybe we could go out sometime.
I would love that. I thought he was so goddamn charming. $1 million smile. Handsome. It took him 6 weeks to propose. How was I supposed to resist a knight in shining armor?
However, once they were married, Andrew's true nature slowly began to surface. He started controlling even the smallest things. Something as trivial as visible hair roots would make him furious. His sharp criticisms eventually turned into real cruelty. The most traumatic incident for Nina was when Andrew locked her in the attic and forced her to pluck out her hair one strand at a time as punishment. Andrew hated seeing hair roots, and for that reason he punished her. He would only release her after she did exactly what he demanded, but the abuse did not stop there.
Babe, there's no files in here.
I know. I am very disappointed, Nina. I need you to pluck 100 hairs. I need you to understand that there are consequences to your actions.
Please let me out of the fucking room!
Now, what choice did I have?
Andrew later drugged Nina and manipulated the situation to make it appear as though she had harmed Cece. That false narrative led to Nina being confined in a psychiatric hospital for 9 months.
That I had drugged and tried to drown my baby. No one would believe my husband was a cruel. While they pumped me full of antipsychotics, how could a man that handsome be anything but a saint?
Although she was eventually released, every attempt she made to escape with Cece was thwarted by Andrew. Enzo was the only person besides Nina who knew the truth about Andrew's depravity. At one point, Nina and Enzo tried to take Cece away, but Andrew discovered their plan and once again threatened to have Nina locked up in a mental institution. From that moment on, Nina was labeled a madwoman, and people pitied Andrew, seeing him as a patient and devoted husband who endured so much. Andrew's cruelty stemmed from his obsession with perfection. He wanted to appear flawless in the eyes of others, and because of that, he demanded that his wife also look perfect, both in front of him and in public. Andrew never tolerated even the smallest flaw in Nina and always punished her whenever he believed she had made a mistake. It is also revealed that Nina is not actually infertile. She secretly had an IUD inserted and asked her gynecologist to lie about her infertility. Nina refused to carry the child of a monster like Andrew. In desperation, Nina realizes that there is no safe way out. The only option left is to distract Andrew with another woman. That is when her plan to bring Millie into the house begins. She hopes that Andrew will gradually shift his attention away from her, giving Nina the opportunity to break free. At first, Nina intended for Millie to simply replace her. However, after learning about Millie's past as a killer, Nina begins to consider a far more strategic plan. Back in the present, Andrew appears outside Millie's bedroom door and coldly explains that he has locked her inside because she broke the porcelain plate given by Evelyn. As punishment, Millie must cut herself 21 times, matching the number of shattered pieces. Only then, Andrew says, will he set her free.
Open the door.
Family heirlooms are a privilege, Millie. It's irreplaceable, Millie. And then you drop it. And now one of mine is in 21 pieces.
Andrew, what the fuck do you want?
Carve 21 lines into your stomach. Long and deep cuts.
As she reflects on her situation, Millie begins to realize something. Andrew's true nature reminds her of the man she once killed in the past. The story then shifts to Millie's past, revealing the secret she has long concealed. When she was still in high school, Millie killed her friend's boyfriend. In front of everyone else, he appeared kind and charming, but behind that sweet facade, he frequently abused Millie's friend. Believing he deserved to be punished for his actions, Millie acted recklessly. Unfortunately, her ungrateful friend twisted the story and placed the full blame on Millie for her boyfriend's death.
Millie, what did you do? I didn't mean to kill him. I don't know why. But my roommate denied everything.
In the end, Millie was sentenced to 15 years in prison. She served 10 years and was granted parole for good behavior. After her release, Millie repeatedly stepped in to help female co-workers who were harassed by predatory men. That is why she never managed to stay long at any workplace. Returning to the present, trapped and with no other choice, Millie is forced to obey Andrew's demand. The next day, when Andrew comes back and feels confident that she is powerless, Millie seizes the opportunity she has been waiting for. With a knife she had secretly hidden, she attacks Andrew and locks him inside the same room where he had imprisoned her.
Good morning, sleepyhead. How are you?
Okay.
I'm with you, asshole.
No! Let me the fuck out!
She does not stop there. Millie smashes the remaining valuable porcelain and delivers her own form of punishment in return for what Andrew has done to her. As a condition for his release, she demands that Andrew pull out his own front tooth. Millie gives him that punishment because Andrew's charming smile has always been a mask concealing his cruelty. After a long moment of hesitation, Andrew finally pulls out his own tooth.
I want you to pull out your fucking tooth. Your plate guy's really fucking good!
Please, stop! Stop! Millie! Hey, okay, I'll do it. Okay.
Meanwhile, Nina manages to escape with Cece. However, Cece insists that they cannot leave without Millie. For the sake of her daughter, Nina returns to the house and finds the attic door locked. Believing Millie is trapped inside, Nina quickly unlocks it, only to discover Andrew instead.
What about Millie?
What are the only...
You okay? I'm gonna get you out of here. Nina, what the fuck are you doing?
Andrew immediately attacks her brutally before turning to chase Millie, who has come back to help Nina. A fierce struggle erupts.
You! Come here, Millie! Come on, baby, come on, Millie!
At one point, Millie disappears, leaving Nina alone to face the man who has tormented her for years. Andrew tries to speak sweetly, claiming that Nina still needs him, but this time, Nina finally fights back, unleashing all the pain and resentment she has carried for so long against Andrew and his mother.
Good us.
I still love you. This didn't happen. Please. Just stay. Please.
Everything you have is a lie. But I'd rather be dead than spend another day with you.
At a critical moment, Millie reappears, and with one final push, ends Andrew's reign of terror by sending him falling down the stairs to his death. Afterward, Nina quickly stages the scene to look like an accident, as if Andrew had fallen while changing a light bulb. She tells Millie to leave and, with Enzo's help, cleans everything before the police arrive. When the police reach the scene, a female officer notices several irregularities, including suspicious injuries on Andrew's body. However, remaining calm, she chooses not to pursue the matter further. It is revealed that this officer is the older sister of Andrew's former fiancé, who called off their wedding 8 years earlier. That night, her sister returned home in a distressing condition, and since then she had known Andrew was not the good man people believed him to be. Deep down, she feels a sense of relief knowing that Andrew is dead. A few days later, Nina attends Andrew's funeral with Cece and pretends to know nothing when Evelyn questions her.
Tragic passing of Andrew, respected business leader, dedicated husband and father, devoted son, caring man could suddenly be taken from us. Question God's power and times in God's love.
After the funeral, Nina meets Millie one last time and secretly hands her a check for $100,000, hoping Millie can use it to start a new life. In the final scene, Millie attends a job interview for another housemaid position. The woman interviewing her mentions that Nina personally recommended her. During their conversation, Millie notices bruises on the woman's wrist and immediately recognizes the familiar pattern. Through subtle hints and a weighted tone, the woman indirectly asks for help, revealing that her husband frequently abuses her as if hoping Millie understands the unspoken request. From that moment on, Millie decides to help women trapped in the cruelty of violent men, and that is where the story ends.